Let's discuss. Hey everyone, it's Rachel back again with another video, and today I will be checking out a new track from Born of Osiris. This is my first time getting them on the channel, but I have listened through their discography quite a bit. I'm excited for a new track. It is called Torchbearer. I will link the music video or visualizer I'll be using in the reaction portion of this in the description of this video, along with all of their social media, promotional links, any sort of merch. All of that will be in the description. Other than that, I'm going to stop talking and we are going to get straight into it. Ooh. Dig this in. Oh. Ooh. Layer vocals right there. Oh, I wasn't sure where that was going. Oh. Oh, got that cinematic feel here. Oh. Born of Osiris, Torchbearer, let's discuss. This is a solid track. What sticks out to me the most would definitely be the groove and some of those really catchy riffs. The synth was another big part of the song for me that I really dug, especially in the intro. It just provides like a certain mood to the track as you're going into it. The vocals, for me, they had a lot going on, so it'll take a few more listens, I think, to fully take all of that in. I liked them, but I think with this, the biggest part for me is gonna be the guitars, the groove. I do think having like a bigger section of just like a big groove down with it, the rest of the track feeling so groovy, having some super catchy riffs, that would bring this track a little bit above and beyond for me. Like maybe an open section, not necessarily like a breakdown. I feel there's a big difference between a big destructive breakdown and just a groove down, like leaning into the sound that's sort of laid out with the rest of the track, because the way it runs through, I wasn't really expecting the ending where it ended. I was expecting something a little bit more like that, I think, and it's by no means a bad track or anything. I'm not sure right now that this will be something I revisit a ton, though I will re-listen to it. Again, not something I disliked, but I felt like the potential was there to take it further. Now I'm sure at this point, I think I've heard in a few different places that they've got an album that'll be upcoming next year, or possibly, I don't think it's this year, but maybe next year or something. And of course, I feel in that we'll find some more tracks. This may be like the first single for a reason that the context of the full release that it's off of will provide. And sometimes things just hit better when you have the context of the full album, and I feel this will either be a grower for me or something I don't really revisit much until the album comes out, or it may not be something that I revisit that much, because while the riffs are super catchy, it has some great synth involved in here, it just feels like there is something for me that's not quite like fully capturing me. And front to back, Angel or Alien, it was something that I had multiple moments that felt like really stand out for me, while this one didn't have a ton that I could point to and say, oh yeah, this is my favorite part of the track. It was more just like a consistent throughout the track type of thing, and I don't think it ever kind of exceeded that threshold or anything, if that makes sense. But this is a band that's been around for a very long time. They've been doing what they do for a long time. They have a ton of songs in their discography that I do think exceed that threshold, so I don't have any doubt that going forward they will be able to. And I really want to emphasize when I make an outro like this, and it's not something I dislike, that I do not dislike it by any means. I just didn't really feel overly wowed by it. But I feel the promise of the band is still there, and this does have the potential to be a grower of a track on me because of how much I enjoyed the groove of it. That first riff, right away you could tell that it was going to be something that kind of pulls you in that sense. But I think overall that was what was like sticking out to me the most. There were some moments like it sounded like some maybe muted singing or something in there, but then it didn't really come back around in different sense other than like maybe some harmonies that I didn't quite pick up on or something, but nothing that really leaned into that. So that's why I think maybe it's kind of showing some different angles from where they're planning on going from here. I do hope they'll like lean further into that groovy sound, because that was a huge win over for me on this track and what kept me, interested throughout the song. And I guess that's why it felt sort of abrupt, because I was expecting like that moment. Not every song has to have like some big moment or anything, but I do find that when there's not something that sticks out to me immediately on first listen as like, oh, that is definitely my favorite part of the track or what have you, then it doesn't typically end up being something that gets a ton of plays for me. So that is just my honest opinion on the track. It's solid, not something I think I'll be running into the ground or anything, but I will continue looking out for what Born of Osiris does in the future. I think that their sound is still here. You listen to this, it's Born of Osiris. There's a little bit of a different feel in the vocals, I think, with some of the kind of hard to take in on first listen. Not hard to take in, like hard to listen to, but kind of absorbing the instrumentation with the vocals. I don't think it necessarily kept me involved the same way that the guitars did, if that makes sense. So that pretty much covers it, I think, for my thoughts on the drums. I think maybe that could be another point where for me I'm looking for stuff that's maybe like a bit more, like a bit punchier, a bit more present. It just seemed it fits with the song though, so I suppose that's the choice that was made for this one. But those are my thoughts. Let me know what you thought in the comments. If you disagree, agree, what you thought of this song. I will link the music video I used in the reaction portion of this, as well as all of the band's social media, any sort of merch for them, in the description of this video. You will also be able to find my link tree there that will have my Twitch channel, my Patreon, my Discord server, all of those links that you may need related to my channel. On Patreon, I am getting early access videos going, so as I get more ahead of schedule. Hopefully the time frame that they're up on Patreon before going on YouTube will be a little bit longer, and I'll be doing polls for my upcoming Twitch streams that aren't request streams, stuff like that. I'll be doing a revamp, adding more stuff to each tier. I already added the early access onto there, but there'll be more stuff coming in the next week or so. So if you want to check that out, that'll be there. My Twitch channel, I just got up and running this week. I did my first request stream over there. Request streams have moved to Twitch. They're every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Mountain Time. That is 7 p.m. GMT. I'm taking requests. It's usually a few hours, and then I'm adding some more streams in there, whether they be one-off request streams or music-related streams that are not for requests. So all of that stuff will be there. The Discord server is where the community is based for my YouTube channel. A bunch of music lovers in there, music-related conversation unrelated to music as well. So if you're interested in coming to check that out, that'll be there. As always, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it.